Okay, hello and welcome back to the Land Rover Toolbox videos. And again, we have this Defender back in to finally have the correct kit fitted for the timing belt. And of course, I'll always say to people, if you're doing your timing belt, get a timing belt kit. And these are actually very cheap at the moment. And I'll just want to point out a few things. Perspective is everything. And as you can see, you would think that the camshaft sprocket is out of time by looking at it here. It looks like it's about 2 teeth out, but this is actually not the case. Now, you need to get level with the sprocket so you can see the marker. Unfortunately, usually the radiator is in the way. However, this does have a little gap at the top. I can't show you with the camera, but it is visible and it is actually in line or just about. So looking at the crankshaft, it looks like it's at TDC, and the pump here, it actually lines up okay. So you'd think you'd go ahead and just change the belt, okay? However, these pins are designed for a reason. They're to get the flywheel exactly in line, and if you've got the right kit, it will also lock it. So I'm just going to show you here. I've got two pins here, and one of them's 200, one of them's for the 300 TDI. You never know which one fits what because these have been messed about with so much you don't know what parts are fitted to which engines. However, I shall just pop a pin in there and then I'll let it click into place. Now, I did actually wind it back a little bit, and I'm just feeling for the peg to actually pop into place, which it has done now. This one, I've actually made sure it's sprung loaded. Now, what I'm going to show you here is the timing pin for the pump. Okay, everything's back in line. This is exactly where it should be. Okay, and then I'll put it into place, and what you'll see is the pump is not actually timed up properly. Not too good, huh? Okay, it's just a gnat cock out. Now, I've rectified all this, and obviously I've got the belt on and it's running fine. So there's not a problem. It's just something to look out for. Okay, so mark the belt up. That's next one will be, well, was it 4 years or something? I can't remember off the top of my head. Or I'd advise every 2 years if it's a Brit Part one. So anyway, the job's done and it's got a new auxiliary belt on it. So yeah, bits left over, plenty of tools used, and the job's a good one. Now, Matty, who owns a Land Rover, asked me to change the lift pump. And I just want to make you aware of this, the lift pump, okay, you got to make sure you get the right one that fits the engine, because if this spacer, for instance, is different and you put a different pump on it, it might not fit. And I'm just trying to show you down here that this is a raised part of the engine. Some of them have a shorter step, if you like, and the pump will be different. So just be aware of that you fit like for like. Don't just chuck anything on there. Okay, the other thing with these pumps, obviously, the lift pumps, you need to make sure you've got an olive kit along with the nuts. So the kit that I've been supplied here has got the wrong number on it, because the ALU 1403 is actually the sump washer for the 300 TDI. The lift pump doesn't come with this, so you've got to make sure that you've got these when you buy the pump, okay? Because you can see they're actually plain. Unless you're using push fits, you'll actually need them. Okay, so here's a tip of the week, and I know some people obviously know this, but when you've finished with a gasket scraper, for instance, turn the blade over. This will stop you from cutting your fingers to shreds if you happen to be diving into your toolbox looking for something else and you come across the end. This tool is actually is quite dangerous. Now it's been disarmed. You can put the blades in the handle here. This Nielsen one is pretty good for doing the job, and I'd advise if you ain't got one, then get one, because they come in handy. Getting the lift pump off and putting it back on is a pain in the backside, and this, instead of using Hylamar or an expensive silicone sealant, I'll just use a little bit of grease on the gasket, glue it into place, and then put your lift pump on, and then struggle to push it into place while you're trying to get the bolts in. And this actually is probably the worst component to change on the vehicle. That is only my opinion, but yeah, anyway, so she's ready to go. Now she's on, running, no problems. It wasn't a problem anyway, but Matt asked me to change this. I've just made sure that it's all bled up, it's not leaking anywhere. And as you can see, the pipes are actually around the right way. So she's done and ready to go back. What I'd like to do is to just show you a little bit about the vehicle, because this is actually quite a good one. Engine's in good condition. Basically, the vehicle is a Bitzer. It's been made up of all sorts, but it's actually not too bad. So if we look in the engine bay first, you can see the modification, intercooler pipe, stainless steel, and the coolant hoses as well. That's not a biggie, it's all right. And what do you expect? It is a Defender after all, and it's got an electric fan on it. Tyres are rather spanking, and I'm pretty sure you know what size these are, so I won't need to tell you. Front bumper, Matt actually made up himself, because he's a good metal worker, and put some LEDs in the front. And obviously it has the obligatory snorkel, but at the top it also has LED lamps. Now this is the interesting thing, the side panels here, they actually look like smoked tinted glass and very reflective, but it's not, it's painted metal. However, the back door is actually smoked glass. You can probably just see the bonnet there. And obviously these are logos that have been stuck on. Apparently Matt is actually going to paint this vehicle, yet it's still not in its finished state. You can see this is another bumper by him, which is rather chunky, but down on the side here, we have an obligatory checker plate, but also we have a double row of side steps. I bet you've never seen this before. This is quite interesting, and also homemade by Matt himself, who's a very competent metal worker. And here we go, here's the metal flaking in the metalwork on the side of the vehicle. From a distance it looks like glass. Now this is another intriguing thing. This is an iPod station. He's taken it out because he left it overnight with me, and actually this is incredible because it works really, really well. And in the back here, I'll just see if I can get enough light on there. You also have some speaker stations, both sides, black paint on the roof, high gloss, which is fantastic. It actually feels very comfortable inside the vehicle. And there's an LED lights for inside, which go out when you shut the door, and you can see the paint on the roof is high gloss as well. And surprisingly, it just feels really comfortable. So basically, this is Matt's motor, and the other thing here is electric doors, electric central locking. This is a pretty good thing, because you know how bad the locks are on these Land Rovers. This works fine. It's on all 5 doors. So there we go, and we just get the key fob again. It's hard to actually hold it while I'm using the camera as well, lock and unlock. So open it up, and what we have here is your standard Defender with a few extra bits and pieces inside. Okay, so the boost ring, I was actually thinking about putting it on this vehicle for a tryout. And you guys probably already know now that it goes down here and it spaces out this portion. However, it's too dirty to do. So I've asked my boy to give me a number, either from the bottom or from the top. So he gave me number 14 from the bottom upwards, and I counted from the bottom upwards 14, and I'll keep on going. So the winner of the boost ring, obviously you've got a 300 TDI, and what I found here is number 14 is Alex Wade. So Alex Wade, you are the winner of the boost ring. So if you could get in contact with me, I shall post this off to you forthwith. Also, thank you to 4B for supplying this, and to everybody who participated in the competition.